This is Dominic Corry here for Red Carpet Report. We're out at Pasadena for the FX Television Critics Association press tour. Hi, Dominic.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Kayvan, you play one of the main vampires on the show.
Yeah.
How would you describe the tone of what we do in the shadows?
I guess it's a mockumentary about vampires that's very funny. And I guess if you've seen the film, then you'll realize the tone is pretty much the same as the movie. Except we go on more adventures, there's more stories, there's more characters. It's kind of like an amazing extension of what you loved in the movie.
The movie had a very New Zealand sensibility. Obviously, it was a New Zealand film.
Yeah.
Has that New Zealand sensibility translated into the show, do you think?
I think absolutely. I mean, you know, Jermaine and Taika being behind the show, steering the show, keeping the tone very similar to the movie. That kind of New Zealand sensibility and sense of humor is very much present. Not that if you're not from New Zealand you won't enjoy it, because you absolutely will. I think being from the UK as well, that British comedy sensibility as well is quite similar to the New Zealand sensibility, and I think those two things together in an American setting create a really amazing and hilarious tone and atmosphere that I think people will enjoy.
There's life and death in this, but it's a comedy. How do those two things work together, do you think?
I mean, there's always kind of comedy in kind of darkness, you know, you kind of make sense of the darkness through the comedy, and I think that is quite a difficult balancing act to get right, and I think someone like Jermaine and Taika do it so beautifully, where they can, you know, we're basically vampires, so, you know, we kill people and drink their blood. What's funny about that? But they seem to have framed it in a way that makes it very funny. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a unique balancing act, but they totally nail it.
Taika and Jermaine were obviously on camera in the movie, and you're on camera in the show, arguably maybe the equivalent of Jermaine's character. Was there pressure sort of trying to step into the on-screen presence of your producers?
Totally. I mean, I've never done something that's been adapted from a film before with a huge fan base. I was aware that I was playing a character who was he was similar to Jermaine's, but also similar to Taika's character in the film. So, of course, I was aware that I was like, well, I'm not going to do an impression of their characters for my character, but I recognize the qualities in his character that were in those two characters that they played. That makes sense. So, trying to get an amalgamation of that and also kind of bring something fresh to the table, i.e. my face and my massive hair. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed playing the character, so, and there were very little complaints from them, you know, so we'll see.
It traverses quite a fine line tone-wise, this show. Were you guys having to kind of discover that on set, or was it pretty clear exactly what tone you were going for once you started shooting?
I guess I came in really being big, and it was kind of Jermaine that was like, you can do less, you can do less, you can do less. And I guess for me, if I come into something new, then yeah, I'll kind of be all over the place and like seeing where the edges are, rather than playing safe or kind of being like, I'm a really subtle actor, you know, I like to do little things, you know. So no, I'll make a fool out of myself and trust that Jermaine will kind of bring it back and kind of shape it into what he thinks fits this world. So that's kind of my philosophy as a comedian, really, to do that, to kind of be a sacrificial lamb and not worry about kind of getting on set and doing everything right. You know, I'm happy to make mistakes, and to put your trust in someone like Jermaine and Taika is just a dream come true for me, you know.
There's a great sense of chemistry between you and Matt and Nastasia. Did you guys just kind of click straight away, or did you have to work on that?
Well, I was a fan of both of them beforehand, you know. I'd worked with Natasha before, you know. I knew how great she was. And Matt, you know, is just, he's like a British institution, really. So I was excited to work with those two. And yeah, I think we come together really well. You know, there's a good kind of, there's an element of the Three Stooges about us.
Thank you so much, Kayvan. Best of luck for the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, give us the old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and put in the comments what your favorite TV show is. We like to hear from you. This has been Dominic Corry for Red Carpet Report.